Hey, what's up, everybody? So, oh, I've got a little bit of a glow behind me, don't I? I'll work on that. What's up, everybody? It's October Gamebreak, only 1 week late! Yes, some of you know I actually had some dental stuff going on, hardy har. I was diagnosed with some major jaw distress, which then led to some tooth pain, which was diagnosed as a sprained tooth. Y'all know what you can do with your laughs, jokes, and all that fun stuff. But yes, so as I try to work out this weird glow, maybe it's getting better. I don't know. You guys can all hear me and everything too, correct? Is that true? Is that a true statement? Can I get some confirmation out there, please? What is up? Hey, I do want to give a quick shout out to our early notification squad. Looks like Gray is here. Morning. Connie says I hear you. Perfect. Let's see here. I gotta bump this up. Come on. Why are you not bumping up? I messed with this earlier, and I got it all fine-tuned, but I wasn't sitting down. I know that's weird. I was standing up, so basically my pasty white face wasn't reflecting off the lights, and it's giving me some weird back effect. It's a game break. If it's not a mic sound that's going wonky, it's got to be the camera, right? So that should be better. There's a weird something over there. Let's see here if I can. Bye. All right, so what is up, everybody? Welcome back. As you can see, we got this fancy pumpkin background here. Some of you might remember this. This is actually, fun fact, this is actually the third year I've used this background. However, I did flip it around. I updated Thumby. I added the nice color matching recent member activity, and that's about it. But we've had a pretty good month as far as things go. As you guys know, we actually, back in March, April-ish, the lockdowns happened, and all of our numbers went and took off, right? I already knew as soon as that was happening that there would be a fall-off point. We seem to have sort of plateaued with our fallout, and that's good. Ultimately, I try to show you guys stats every month. This is what we're looking at right now. This was actually taken 1 week ago yesterday, so the numbers have changed. We have roughly 500 more subs than it shows right there, and the numbers are a little different. But you can see we're not in the red anymore as far as those stats go. They were down arrows with red, and guess what? We're not in the red. We're not in the green yet. It's got to be 6% or higher in order to reach that green, but it's not. So really quick too, early notification squad. I guess nobody really ever told me. I guess a couple people that sound and visual. Okay, I'm seeing it now. Distracted myself. Malachi, Occupied, and Chacho were the early notification squad today. As you know, game breaks, I don't usually go back and say hi to everybody until afterwards, so people were hanging out. The reason is that not everybody wants to hang out for an hour-and-a-half stream, so I try to get to the meat and potatoes, the important stuff right away, and then we hang out, we talk, and we do all that afterwards. So feel free to hang out, and we'll do some chatting afterwards. But, basically, we're continuing to grow. You can see we got 1,700 and almost 50 subs in the last 28 days. They do it in 4-week intervals versus 30 days or months. So it is a little weird to see it like that, but I've gotten used to it over the last couple of years. But, can't thank you guys enough. It's been amazing, as we continue to grow. We're finding out more and more things about you guys. Like, the audience that we have developed here is, or recruited, or whatever you want to label it, it is not really caring about new awesome games. Like, anything that isn't Lego is really not in your wheelhouse, is so it seems. We are going to take some risks, and we're going to do some stuff outside of that. I'll get to that in a minute. But I just wanted to say, as we continue, I'm going to try to leak out some old Lego content, knowing there's no new Lego content. We're also going to mix it up and do some other stuff too. We're trying to find that niche, and we never know if a game's going to do well and if it's what you really want until we release it and the numbers and analytics show. Prime example, The Last of Us Part 2. We did that. We had over 700 responses that say, oh yeah, please do it. Your guides are amazing. Right? Those videos don't even have 200 views on most of them. I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying, if you guys already have another source for a video game and we're asking if we're going to do this guide or not, let us know. Be honest with us. When I talk about what's coming up, let me know. If you think it's garbage and you have no interest in it, or you don't need it, don't want to see it, let me know. We can shift gears. It's probably not too late. I don't think Adam would like to hear that because our guide writer Adam's been putting in some work on writing the guide. But at the end of the day, he knows that it's a gamble. And we talk about it all the time as far as hopefully this will be a good one. You know, I mean, I never in a million years would have thought Lego Indie would have done better than The Last of Us Part 2. Lego Indie, an 8-year-old game, is doing double, if not triple the views, watch time, everything. It's yielding more subscribers, new subscribers, than The Last of Us Part 2, which is going to be one of the top 5 Game of the Year choices this year, which is crazy to me. But it is what it is. And you guys kind of spoken, I guess. So that being said, you know, we're really happy with the numbers. We can't thank you guys enough. And, you know, the show will keep on going. Little side note, I doubt he's watching. He should be driving. He's just got a couple of passengers with him, though. They might have pulled this up if he noticed it. Shout out to HTG Mark. Some of you might not remember Mark, but Mark was actually part of the original kind of crew. You know, Jeremy brought the idea to me. And then, you know, my wife and Jeremy's wife, Jeremy and I kind of came up. It's actually Jeremy's wife came up with the name Happy Thumbs Gaming after months of trying different things and whatever. You know, the four of us were kind of like the powerhouse, the brains, and the early financing of it. But the first person we brought on to help out and be a part of the team was Mark. Mark was also nice enough to loan his house to me when I would go up to Tacoma to go to PAX. So I've been to PAX 4 times, and 3 of the 4 times Mark was with me, and we went. I stayed at his house. So big shout out to Mark because he came and saw me today. He's actually been stationed down in San Diego, California, working down there, and he is all done with his duties for now. So he was coming back up and driving through Oregon to get to Washington, and he stopped by. We only saw each other for a half hour or whatever, but it was nice. Hadn't seen Reese in a while. Pretty big surprise to see him, bigger than all of us. But anyways, it was fun. So big shout out to him, and you know, it's always good to see an old friend. All right, moving right along. All right, so this is going to probably be one of the more controversial topics that we'll talk about here. I didn't really get into the Please No Politics today. As you guys know, there's lots of stuff going on in the U.S. Some of you aren't from the U.S., which is fine. We're leaving that stuff out. This is kind of a safe place to not be doing that. But this next topic is actually oddly not related at all, but sort of could be considered, you know, a similar threat. And that was our October test. Now, normally I'd have a fancy graphic or something to illustrate it, but I didn't really know what to put. I do have a graphic with our winners, right? For those of you who don't know what the October test was, we were trying out a new service, the Cloud Bot service that's offered by Streamlabs, which is the software that I use to stream even right now. And part of what they offered was a counter that counted how much watch time each person viewed. So we thought we would test it out and see. And as a result, it also came with what is called loyalty points. And these loyalty points were, they were earned in the same way, but completely separate than the watch time minutes / hours that were being counted. So these loyalty points could be played with these little fun little games. You could do heists and slot machines and whatever. And so that was fun. It, in my opinion, and I still haven't had a chance to really talk to the team, but in my opinion, it became a huge distraction, and the gambling and stuff, it wasn't consistent. So somebody would roll, and it would say they got like, you know, 3 not matching numbers, and then they would win like a bunch of points. And then, of course, the next person would roll and get 3 numbers that matched, and then maybe one, maybe didn't win. Like, there was weird results that were inconsistent. You guys that participated probably have a lot better feedback and actual, you know, complaints or maybe praises, I guess, too, for the system. But ultimately, it became like, hey, I started getting questions like, will you give so-and-so's points to so-and-so, and can you award, and then other people too. And I'm not picking on or trying to point fingers at anybody, but I mean, some people it wasn't working. So in the whole concept of trying to be fair and equal, I am reluctant to continue that. Now, what we did was we set it up, and I did state that I would pick 1, to maybe 3 winners. The winners would receive some stickers and a keychain via the mail. And I've done that. I have not let you down on that. Now, this is where it gets tricky, though, and why I said it might be kind of dangerous territory. It's because, like, for example, I know that there are a few people that actually watched a lot, and it didn't necessarily count your time. So I ultimately, I feel bad about that because there's absolutely nothing I can do. It's not like I wrote this program and I could make some changes to the code or any, like, there are changes, but like everything that we believe that needs to be a certain way should be a certain, and it was. And even now, here's what's weird, you guys. October test, I was going to shut it off on November because of my tooth and all the stuff that was going on. I totally forgot about it. I didn't even actually sit down and get the winners sorted out until last night. So, that being said, like, you know, I feel bad about releasing this, and I just don't see it going on. And luckily, it turned itself off. That's what I'm getting at. Like it just turned itself off. So I even went yesterday when I was determining the winner. I was like, why isn't this working? Everybody's been trying to use this, but it's not. It's enabled. All of the stuff is still there. All of my changes to like the Magic 8 Ball, all there. All of the numbers and all the watch time and everything for you, all there. But it's not working. Like if somebody does a command right now, I don't think it'll work. So anyways, as for right now, we're gonna just leave it off. Hey, what's up, Todd? I see a few of you showing up too. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm just trying to get through the stuff. I see a bunch of you. Darkseid's out there too. What's up, guys? But so, you know, I'm gonna announce the winners, and I just want you guys to know that it's not personal, and I'm sorry if you watched a lot and you didn't get to the top 3. And I'm sorry if you see the top 3 and you feel like maybe you should have been 1 instead of 3. I can't do anything about it. I have no idea if watching from a browser was different than watching from the YouTube app, or if an iPad or an Android device had different results. I have no idea, and it wasn't something that it was important enough to test and spend a lot of time on. Nothing for nothing. Paz has been working on something that actually might become a thing on Happy Thumbs. I don't know if it'll make it to TV or actually Happy Thumbs, but I can't talk about it much. But I've been helping him a little bit too. Like yesterday, we had to test some software, and if it works out, I think some of you guys, there's 5 or 6 of you that are here almost every day that are gonna be like, yeah, boy, if it works out. But if it doesn't work out, then I won't be letting anybody down because you won't know about it. Ha 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 ha. All right. So that being all said, I do want to give a big shout out and big thanks to everybody who participated in October test. But I will be reaching out and talking to these 3 people. One of them has already been sort of notified. I kind of dropped a weird bomb. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I'm probably going to need your address in the next couple of days. Just saying. So they were like, what? Oh, so for the other 2 people on this list who I have not spoke to, and you'll know who you are once you see this, get at me. Send me a message. I'll try to reach out to you if I have a way. I know that one of you, I think I have easy access to. The other one, I will find the access because I know where to reach you. But here we go. Henry Hill, what is up? Welcome to the stream. These are our October test winners, though. Big shout out to Chacho, Kirsten, and Loki. Are you guys really surprised, though? I mean, let's be real. Oh, let's be real. We all see these 3 here all the time. You guys are definitely dedicated, and I love all 3 of you and everyone else out there too. It's not specific to these 3, but you know, big time. And look at those hours. You know, I didn't really look. In fact, here I got it up right here. I can kind of tell you who was runner up. Not that it matters, but just I'm sure some of you are kind of wondering, like, wait a minute, where was I on that list? You know, some of you had pretty little. Paige was actually next with 26. Connie was next with 21. And again, this is where it gets weird because I would bet money that Connie and Paige both spent more than 21 or 27 hours watching over the whole month. But maybe not. I mean, it's tough. Nam was on there too. Johnny Thunder. Tyler was right there too. Josh was right there. Raised also right. Occupied with. I mean, that was basically the top 10 or 12, you know, and Saj and Nathan and Gray were all right in there too. Ben. I mean, you guys all made the top first page. You know, but I mean, it drops off significantly. Like, and not to put him on the spotlight or whatever, but like we all know, Gray has not only he not only participated in more hours in the stream. He was here on stream more than the actual thing gave him credit for. And I know that often, you know, he will have the like his phone up to check audio or whatever. So you know, I know that, or sometimes like I'll be like, look at the stream, because something crazy happens and it's delayed for them, so I can tell them and they can look. And I know he watched more than 7 hours. So because of that, it's like, I don't know if, I guess kept telling him it was because he lived in Belgium, but that was just me being rude and mean, but it had nothing to do with that, at least I don't think. And so for now, we're going to not do it. What I want to do is I want to spend the next month or two looking at some other bots that are similar, or see where this one goes. I might even reach out to the company Streamlabs that makes it and see if I can contact anybody about it. You know, I know Kirsten dug in pretty deep, and maybe her and I can sit down and maybe kind of work some of these bugs out, because I think although I've been in command and like actually turning things on and off from the admin side, and she's never even seen this page, I do feel like she probably has a better understanding of the system than I do. So at some point I might just give her access, or maybe she doesn't want it either, but we'll talk about it and we'll figure it out. And so my kind of thought is, if I can revamp this, get some things figured out, maybe even get a different service that's a little bit more credible, that maybe at the first of the year, January 1, maybe we would try something like this again. I don't want to necessarily wait till October test again. You know what I mean? So I know you guys like this. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to go ahead and have, you know, bigger prizes, right? Like, you know, maybe do like a controller. Maybe if you want it signed, I'll sign it. Maybe you don't want it signed. You know, hats, merchandise, you know, things like that. You know, not knowing the outcome, not knowing how it was going to work, all that. I didn't want to put like a TV or something crazy on there. But, you know, it would be nice to have that. And I mean, it would be interesting to see, you know, let's say I did offer like a 32-inch TV, or maybe I don't know, something large, right? $100 plus, you know, and maybe that would drive more viewership. I mean, I don't know, like, right? I mean, it's like, it's all got to even itself out, and like the goal is to reward you guys for your loyalty and your awesomeness, but at the same time, I can't get lost in all that. Whoa, Annihilator, what is up? Welcome to the club. In fact, that's next on my list. In fact, I wanted to remind you guys, big shout out to these three. I wanted to remind you guys, we do have you know, the ability to go ahead and support us. As you can see, we just got a new member right now, Annihilator, and bumped Ruby down, who was also a new member recently. Big shout out to both of them. But, you know, you get access to some emojis, a custom badge, and, you know, just overall become a little bit closer and more of a part of our community. You know, I need to get better about, you know, actually putting some fire under my arse about getting some more and newer emojis. But you can see there, we've got lots of fun stuff available and more coming soon. I think the ash can needs to get got. I think we need to replace that with something more practical. Obviously, Thumby could be updated to the new one. Cringe Rip is always a lovely one. Brown Pants is a classic. More coming soon. So yeah, anyways, moving right along. What do you guys think of my flickering pumpkin? Is that cool or not? And have you guys noticed the witch? There she goes. Whee! Just simple, but sort of fun. You know, I'm not the greatest animator, and when it comes to time, I don't have a tremendous amount. Graphically, I'm better than some, but way far behind with most. So, you know, I try to have fun with it. There's a wolf in there, too. He just popped his little noggin up. He kind of moves around and whatever, but anyways. Hey, real quick. I already mentioned him once. I want to give another shout out to our guide writer. Bam! Adam. Adam actually busted out this Lego Indie guide, which was pretty sweet. It was his first guide, so I did have some feedback, and you know, I have been actively updating the guide as I was producing the videos and putting them out. They're all pretty much out. Truth be told, I do have some more work ahead of me. I have the 3 bonus levels left, and then, you know, maybe an achievement video or 2 that I didn't cover. I got to be honest, though, I'm going to need Tude's help real soon, because I am not good at navigating the Xbox platform. It's weird to say that as like a grown man who's been gaming since been gaming, you know, and here insert Nom's tech support comments right now. I know they're coming. But you know, I like the trophy list on the PlayStation. You can go and it shows awesome, right? Um, it's easy to find. It's not buried. You don't have to like dig through this menu to get to that menu. But what I'm finding is that right now I'm playing a game on the Xbox 360, which is very similar to playing a game like on PS Now, where you don't have like there's different dashboards being accessed. It's kind of confusing to say, but I don't even know what achievements I have left, honestly. Like, I've gotten a lot of them as I've gone, but I don't even know how to look at my list and see. So I'm gonna have to talk to Todd, and I know where they are, but I got to figure out a way to filter them so that they're in the order, and maybe they don't show that way. Like, that's one thing that I've always been curious about on Xbox is like, it seems as though when you get an achievement, it is at the top of the list. Versus on PlayStation, there's a set list with the platinum being at the top always, and then not always, but generally you see like the story-based trophies first, and then it goes into like multiplayer and whatever. You know, and again, story and multiplayer always are mixed up, but the platinum's always at the top. And when you get a trophy, like let's say you get the last trophy on the list, it doesn't show it at the top, and that's how I'm getting my. So there's got to be a filter option, or I'm hoping there is, because I have a hard time figuring that stuff out, and it just shows I'm really not an Xboxer, which makes me wonder too, do I really need to buy the Series X next week? All right, but yeah, big shout out to Adam. This guide is pretty much donezo as far as mini kits, collectibles, and things like that. Red bricks, red parcels, whatever you want to call them, they're all in the guide. If you haven't checked out happythumbsgaming.com, please do. Adam put a tremendous amount of, and it's great. And you know, Tyler and Doug have also put up some pretty sweet guides there. I know not everybody uses the written stuff, but sometimes it's so much easier. Like, it really is to go at, like, you need to find out what gold bricks you need to get the 100%, or how you get the gold. Like, seeing a visual breakdown of like 20 gold bricks from story levels, 20 gold bricks from true adventurers, 20 gold brick. Like, sometimes seeing that breakdown is game changing for you guys. And I know some of you don't even know that. Some of you would rather watch videos. That's totally fine. I'm technically, the videos are better suited for my financial side of things. So, but ultimately it's all about ease and comfort for you guys. So that's why we have the written guides. If you know, we know that they get 1/10 or 1/50th or 1/100th of the views that our videos get, but we still put them out there because there's still a group of people that uses them, and it's also searchability too, right? Somebody searches something, it's likely it'll pop up from our guide, and maybe not a video, because there's a lot more metadata on the guides than there is in each video. So, you know, any way you look at it, they're all there. Options are there. Just like when we could save and exit each game, right? You guys are welcome to do that. We finish the game. Then if you want to move to the next video, you can, and you don't have to watch the end. But the people that do want to watch, so we try to please everybody. We know we can't, but we try to please everybody. But again, big shout out to Adam. He put that out, and like I said, together for his first like official guide. It's amazing, great. I can't wait to see more. And the good news is you don't have to wait a whole lot longer. Now, I can't give you an actual date because I don't want to put pressure on him mainly. But by this time next week, you will likely see a guide on our website that will be a work in progress. What does a work in progress mean, Brian? Well, I would say that 90% or more of the written information will be there, but it's not complete because it doesn't have our videos yet. So as I continue to produce those videos, I will be adding them to the guide. What game is it? Some of you already know. And again, this is still sort of up for debate. This is where we feel you guys have steered the ship. What you'd want to see, maybe not next, but as one of the next 5 games. And no, Tyler, it's not Paw Patrol. But we've got an oldie but goodie, and one that I never played, and one that I get a request for almost every single day. Spyro! So, you guys know there's 3 games on this one download or disc, whatever you want to call it. Annihilator with a super chat! Thank you so much, my guy. There's 3 platinums. I've been told that this game is super easy. I've never played any of them. I mean, I helped Reese jump from platform to platform a couple of times way back when he was like 6, 7, something like that. Way back in the PS3 days. Way back in the days. And so, you know, other than that, I have no experience. You know, I was talking to a couple of my trophy hunting buddies, and one of them told me it took them roughly 48 hours to platinum all 3. They didn't go hard in the paint either. Like, they were sleeping and whatever. It just, apparently it's a short game. So I don't know if it is or isn't. And that's kind of where I'm looking for some feedback from you guys. I am seeing it's easy and quick. Darkseid says Spyro, meh. See, I've never played the series. I have no attachment to it personally. You know, so it's not nostalgic or anything for me. You know, like same with Crash Bandicoot. I was playing the game that won't be mentioned, like, all the time. Like, I didn't, my disc never left my PlayStation 2 unless the new version of that game that won't be mentioned came out. So, you know, there was a lot of games. I mean, even Resident Evils and things that I loved didn't get any play because I was too busy clanning it up. Loki, what is up? You're showing up. Hey, real quick, I want to take a step backwards. Hey, Loki, this is specifically for you, bro. Normally, I don't, like, do spotlights or whatever, but guess what? Winners. Winning. You and I need to touch bases, broski. I need to get an address. You were one of the top 3 viewers for October test. That is all. So yeah. Bam. Spyro's next. What do you guys think of that? So yeah, I mean, ultimately, you know, this month was kind of crazy. I pretty much had my head down. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Yes, I do need your address as well, Chacho. I think I have an open messenger with you already. If not, please message me and we'll get going on that. But yeah, so this month, here's pretty much what my schedule looked like. I got up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Said hi to the wife and the dog for 20, 30 minutes. Kind of wiped the crust out of my eyes. And then creation began. Usually, the first thing that I would do is I would make the thumbnail for the stream for that day, if it wasn't already completed. Generally, it takes me a half an hour to an hour. Depends on how much stuff I reuse, how creative I get, how much face smashing or whatever I use. Once that was complete, I then had to set up the stream and get it ready. Not launch it, but get it ready so that at 9 o'clock I could go ahead and launch it. So once that was done, then I was awake enough, my old man Brian brain would be good to go that I could cut audio. Now, as you guys know, it's cold here in Oregon most of the time. My living quarters / office that I'm in up here, it's up in the attic, basically. Everything is insulated. All the heat rises up here. The showers, right? Anytime somebody uses the shower, all that hot air comes up here. Other air, too. So we've got an air conditioner that runs up here most of the time. If you turn it off, the unit itself expels heat, and it makes it even hotter in here. So, you know, if it's 65 outside, it's generally 75 in here. It's always a good 10 to 12 degrees hotter in my room than it is outside. Now, if it's 50 degrees outside, 40 degrees outside, it's still generally 70 degrees in here. With the TVs, everything, it's usually hot. So, why am I telling you all this? Well, I generally don't have an opportunity in the nighttime or evening to turn the air conditioner off without turning into a sweat fest. So I cut most of my audio for the videos in the morning. So after the stream was all set up and ready to go, I would go ahead and blast into the audio, get that cut, render it, and then do any uploading, tagging, and titling and whatever. By then, it was pretty much time to launch the stream and start premiere paging, which then would go right into a stream. After the stream, I would stop and take about a half an hour to an hour break to check on Reese and his homework and the dog, maybe take the dog out or whatever, because the wife's been teaching from home. And then I would start doing my scouting runs. You know, a lot of you guys don't know this. As time has gone on, you might have noticed, like Lego Indie, you know, Last of Us was another example. But, you know, Lego DC, Lego Incredibles, all of those videos are way more to the point, less stud grinding, less wandering around, less which way do we go type of scenarios. The reason for that is because I do the scouting run. So when I do a level, if I'm doing level 10, depending on how, like right now with Lego Indie, I was playing the PlayStation Now version for my scouting run. So I'd figure out where all mini kits or how to not get the mini kits for story or whatever the case was. I'd scout it out, which sometimes I would make a mistake and have to start over. Most of those levels are 10. So, I mean, that process probably takes half hour to an hour, and then you throw in a half hour to an hour of actually recording, and then you throw the recording into the editor and edit, and then guess what? It's dinner time. So that's ultimately what my October looked like every single day. And some would call it going hard in the paint. I didn't feel stress from it. I didn't feel exhausted. I actually was pretty impressed with the workload. I was legit uploading one video every single day, and I was also streaming 6 days a week. So for me, I felt like I was really kicking some arse, like really kicking some arse. And I think analytically, it's showing that. The financial side of things has taken a little bit of a turn on the upswing. It's nothing to write home to mom about, but it's definitely nice to see that it's almost COVID numbers again. Now, if I can get some more good games that you guys want to see, that you need guides for, that's going to help me out. So this Spyro thing and all that, that's really important that, we're probably going to do Spyro regardless, knowing it's a short series. It won't take weeks or months. We'll probably bust that out. But if in future, like, I'll probably not be so secretive of projects, and try to get some upfront data from you guys. And I don't know, how many of you out there are using the community page? Do you guys know what the YouTube community page is? Have you guys used it at all, ever once? Some of you have. I know some of you have commented, so I know some of your names have been there. But I want to make sure that you guys know it exists, because I've been trying to use that once or twice a week. Not a lot, not daily. I don't want to confuse you or blow your phones up any more than I already do, because I want you guys to keep our notifications on. I want you to know, but I also don't want you to be annoyed with 3 or 4 a day. Even 1 a day is probably too much for you guys. Maybe, hopefully not. But, the goal is just to keep pushing forward, and using your feedback to fine-tune it is going to be key. And the reason I bring up the community page is because there's polls. I have a hard time with polls on Facebook. The audience is much smaller. Like, we have 3,800 or something followers on Facebook. That's not a little. That's a lot of people. But compared to 131,000 and some change, that's not even close to being a good percentage of people. So I want to try to use the YouTube page for polls and things as much as possible. And I'm seeing an increase as I continue to use it regularly. I see more and more people, but I want you guys to know. Same with HTG TV. I know a lot of you guys, a lot of you guys don't even know it exists, and a lot of you guys are there every day too. So don't get me wrong on that. Like, I'm not specifically talking to the people that are here. I'm just saying out of the 131,000, and Darkseid says never use the community page. There's a lot of good stuff there. When I'm not able to stream for the day, or if the schedule changes, or, like right now. Oh yeah, holy crap, I totally forgot. I almost forgot something. And not that we're done yet, but I almost forgot. It's not in my notes here, but it's on my buttons here. Anyways, when the stream schedule changes, which it actually has, I'll be posting that. So be looking for that tomorrow. And, you get to see it today first, but yeah. So, maybe check it out. It's all you have to do to find it is just go to the actual channel, YouTube, happythumbsgaming.com. It's like Happy Thumbs Gaming on YouTube. And then there's tabs. There's like home, videos, community, about, contact, I think. Or maybe there's no contact, but community, that's where it's at. And I'd love to see more interaction there. And we'll do better about posting more things regarding upcoming games and such. But yeah, and of course, Happy Thumbs Gaming TV. I mean, we've been so close to the 1,000 sub mark for like 2 months. We were literally gaining 1, if not 2 subs a day every day on that channel. And then we got to 975, 980, and it was like every 3rd day we'd get a sub, and every other day we'd lose a sub. So, I mean, I get it. It's not for everyone. And I mean, there may be some younger audiences that are signing up there, and maybe the adults or whatever are seeing it. And maybe Gray's thumbnails are chasing people away. It certainly wouldn't be me. No, I'm just kidding. Regardless, though, we'd love to see you over there on HTG TV. I did drop a link down in the chat right now. If you guys have not subscribed, it would be amazing. We're trying to hit that 1,000 mark. It's so crazy to me that we have 131,000. Like this year alone, I'm curious. Let me see something real quick. Analytics. Last 365 days. We're not to the end of the year yet. Can I do 20? I can do 2020. Okay, so 2020 alone. Dang, I got almost 11 million views. 10,922,000. So this year alone on HTG, I had 22,600 new subscribers. That's not overall. That's not including drop. No, actually, that is. Let me click on it. It is including drop off. So, 22,000 on one side, and I have a really hard time. I understand, too, that the content is very different, right? One is more of an entertainment purpose, while one of them is very much entertainment and tutorials, guides, help, whatever you want to call it. So, but yeah, so anyways, that's out there. I'd love to see you over there. And since we're talking about that and everything, I just want to update you guys. So, first of all, too, shame on me. As much, listen. There's a lot of times where, like, I may seem like I'm unprepared, and that's true. I am. There's times, too, where I'm unprepared, but that doesn't mean that effort hasn't been put in. I think the team will tell you that I've been talking, specifically Todd, Tyler, and Gray. I've been talking to them multiple times a day, sharing links, ideas, games. We've been trying to figure out what's going to take over for Apex on Tuesdays, because I'm putting my heels down. I refuse to play Season 8, 7, whatever the hell it is. And then Fridays, Among Us was fun. We might do some more of that in the future. But with people coming and going on vacations and randomness and Reese being in school and some other factors, it's just hard to round up 10 people. So I'm looking for a Friday replacement. Now, Tyler and I think we might have found it. But I presented it to 2 other people today, and they went, not interested. So I don't know if it'll be warranted or not. But that being said, here is the newest schedule. Some things have changed. Some things remain the same. As you can see, Mondays, 10 a.m. on HTG, we've got Ghost of Tsushima. On Tuesdays, we got giant question marks. Absolute worst case scenario, and I do mean worst, I will pull my foot out of my mouth and I will boot up Apex with at least Todd, if not Gray, as well. So, on the other side of Tuesday, we've got Wednesday, which is Watch Dogs Legion. And that game has been an absolute treat so far. I've been very skeptical about some of the changes that were brought into the new game. And I haven't really had to do too much with it, but at the same time, it's just dumped me right into it, and it hasn't been too bad. So, and what that is recruiting of random people and all of that. It's a whole new aspect. It's just a little too, I don't know, demanding of time. So, anyways, we're getting pretty close on Thursdays to finishing up Remnant, and so that will also be likely replaced by the end of November. There will probably be an update to that slot. And then Friday, I'll share my idea with you guys, but just know that this is simply just that, an idea. Tyler and I have bounced a bunch of games back and forth, and, of course, there's that whole fine line. Something we want to play, something you guys want to watch, something that may have an element of competition but not be too greasy or whatever. So there's actually a game that comes out on Thursday, I believe, which is weird. What games come out on Thursday? But it actually was presented to me, and I thought, oh, yeah. Then I came up with a really stupid, I'll call it stupid because you guys will label it stupid. I'll get booed, I guarantee you, but I thought it was pretty cool. The game that comes out on Thursday that might take over for a couple of Fridays is Family Feud. The concept would be Feudin' Fridays, which I thought was pretty stinking cool. Had a nice ring to it. But, it is a $40 game, Sadly, I am not big time enough that I can't purchase it for everyone or get free copies of the game for everyone. So me asking people to purchase that game is kind of over the top. You know, definitely open and still not 100% sure, but you'll have to tune in on Friday and see what goes down. You know, like I said, not to pull names out there, but you know, money is obviously a factor. We're in a really odd time for many reasons, right? Without getting into details. You know, money certainly doesn't grow on trees, and I know a lot of people are not just like fat in the pockets. So, like I said, knowing that we might only play it once or twice, $40 for 1 or 2 days, that's a pretty big ask. But you know, the concept is amazing, and if we can find something similar to that, maybe even on PC, I would happily do it. So, if you guys have some games like Family Feud that you would like to recommend, PC or console, please let us know, whether it's here at htg.com through our contact page, or over at, you know, Facebook or Twitter, whatever's convenient for you guys. But anyways, Saturday's my day off. That's usually what I try to do. I try to do some family stuff, but for the last couple of weeks, honestly, I've been putting out Lego indie stuff, like, you know, trying to finish up that. So, obviously today, Saturday, got the game break, so not a day off, but ultimately that's the plan. Saturdays will be my day off, and then Sundays we'll continue to play Lego Harry Potter years 1 through 4 until we finish that, get her completed, and then likely we'll jump into 5 through 7, but we might switch it up and play something else depending on what you guys want. Now, real quick, I want to address the chat. There's been a few things dropped here, and I have definitely been flapping my yapper about other things. So, Trophy Hunter, you have asked a couple of times, is this your job or is this a side gig? Genuinely curious. To be honest with you, it has gradually transitioned into my full-time. And let me tell you this, too. It is full-time. There are definitely times, days, weeks where I really regret sort of, I don't want to say throwing in the towel, but, you know, I did web and graphic design for many years prior to Happy Thumbs, or while I was doing Happy Thumbs too. So, you know, I build websites, create newsletters, graphics, infographics, marketing pieces like brochures, flyers, whatever you need. You know, and I do have a couple of clients still that, you know, most of them are family, you know, but, you know, I had a couple of guys that kept me really busy. Some guys that were sort of entrepreneurs, really busy in the community, creating like clubs and things for people. So I did a lot of graphics, a lot of, you know, flyers. I worked for a couple of magazines. Neither of them are around anymore. When I say one of them, you guys are going to be like, what? It was a car magazine. It was actually a car magazine that specialized in high-end cars like Koenigsegg's, you know, Ferraris, you know, the Lambos, the big stuff, but also like really high-end car audio. So like, you know, $20, $30, $40,000 setups, usually done through companies or major outfits. The magazine was called Whips and Ice. So whips for the cars, ice for the, you know, the fancy. I don't know why at one point people started calling installs and like stereo equipment ice. I don't know if the kids still call it that or not, but and I also worked for another magazine out of Portland called Flossin. Ironically, the same guy got me the gig. That was that entrepreneur I was talking about for both places. But Flossin is no longer around. They were a pretty big magazine in the Northwest, and they were getting ready to go global, and then greed took over. But you know, but yeah, I don't really do a lot of web and graphic design stuff anymore. You know, I recently built a website for a golf course not too far from me, MerriweatherGolfClub.com, if you want to check it out. It's spelled really funny too. It's MERI. Anyways, you know, and I have some other stuff out there that I do too. But ultimately, yes, I spend most of my day doing this now for the last 3 or 4 years too. Well, it was actually a 5-year stint, but it's been 2 years now. I also was kind of a, I don't want to call it a primary, more like a secondary caregiver to my grandparents. So I'm you know, I've got so much stuff, you know, that I do, you know, I'm at-home dad for Reese, you know, cooking and, well, cooking. That's not it. Cleaning, yes. Cooking, no. I don't want to, we don't get into that. But yeah, so ultimately, this is pretty much what I do for the main stuff. So, you know, every month, like I said, I have a couple of contracts that I have newsletters and updates that I do. But I mean, ultimately, that's like a one Saturday a week. And so, yeah, so for the most part, this would be my daily. And yeah, so which is nice that numbers are starting to go back up again. You know, and I do mean like views and such. Like, you know, I've never been, you know, a beggar or whatever you want to refer to it as, but I definitely appreciate all the support you guys have, and I know that we've bailed you guys out of a lot of gamer related situations, which, you know, some take more serious than others. I saw a meme today, and it was a shot at gamers, and it was two young kids sitting on a dock with fishing poles, and they were fishing, and it said, because memories aren't created playing video games. And although I didn't disagree with the fact of getting out and doing stuff, I couldn't help but feel sorry for the person who posted the meme, let alone created the meme, because, boy, I sure have an amazing amount of memories that I've created with you, with my son, with my wife, with my friends. I mean, gaming has been my life for 20 years. You know, part of the web and graphic design stuff I did before I started Happy Thumbs was for a tournament community. A lot of you have heard about Urgent Fury. It still exists, urgentfury.com. I am not responsible for any of the artwork or anything that's currently there, but I used to be a big part of production for the maps and the tournaments that we held there. I say we because I was official staff. Like I got paid to put together tournaments before esports existed. And these tournaments were amazing, so much different. And honestly, I there's been a couple of times where me and a couple of the boys from those days have talked about trying to start something up again, because Urgent Fury doesn't really do the tournaments, not like they used to. The creative genius behind it, which I am not taking any credit for, by the way. I was simply the hands that made a lot of the stuff happen. You know, I used to work with Adobe Flash and stuff, and that's ultimately why I got hired. I mean, if I didn't know Adobe Flash, I would have never had the job there. But because I knew Adobe Flash, I was able to create stuff. And let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can show you one of my old things. Let me see if it's still up. You guys would get a kick out of this. I really genuinely feel like you guys would be like, "Whoa, you did that?" Okay, well, it is Adobe Flash. I just showed up, and it tells me. Okay, so it does work. I had to tell. Oh God, it's been so long. Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, it's so good to see you. If Robert's out there or Nom's out there, I'm sure both of those guys would really get a kick out of seeing this as well. And you know, again, I'm just going to go ahead and state, this is Adobe Flash. Adobe Flash is not available on all devices. It is also considered dangerous. You know, click at your own risk, if you will, but just know that there's nothing malicious or harmful there. But yes, bam. That right there is one of the maps that I actually created for Urgent Fury. If you do open it up and you click on the legend, you can actually even see that my clan 503 was a part of the tournament that took place. And you can also see that 503 had no territories left and had been ousted from said tournament. But regardless, you know, back to memories and such, like, you know, I feel like straight up, people should get out. You guys hear me say that often. Go outside. I mean, up until COVID, right? I mean, go outside, spend some time with your family, get out, get your heads up, right? Like, I'm all about that too. I think it's important to have inside and outside life. But, you know, memories can be made in both places. I guess that's all. All right. So we got schedule, we got everything. We're good to go. We're good to go. I think, let me see if this works. See? 984. Close, but no cigar, bros. And bros? No, that doesn't sound like bros. And what's the equivalent of bros? And gals? No? I know what rhymes with bros that is not appropriate or cool, but what's the appropriate? What's bros and Gross. That's got to be wrong, right? Anyways, but yeah. So last but not least, some of you have heard of our Patreon. What is this? No, that's the one that we're not supposed to say, Loki. Give me a page saying the plug-in is not supported. Yeah, so that's what it did to me too, Darkseid. I actually had to up in my browser, right to the left of where it said urgentfury.com/chosen. There was a not secure like circle. I clicked it and I was able to see Flash, and I allowed it. Now, depending on if you use Chrome, Mozilla, Explorer, whatever, you might be on Opera or something else too. Again, not needed. Totally cool. Wait a minute. You know what? No, I won't be able. I was gonna say maybe I could slip in the link here. I don't think I can though. Let me see if I can find the. Trying to find the layer that represents. Oh, here we go. All right. Let's see if I can get this to work for you guys. So yeah, it looks like I'm gonna get the same. I don't think I'll be able to unbreak it. Yeah, so that's the one thing that I don't like about my Streamlabs software right now is it allows me to display a page, but I have no interaction with the page. So like on that Happy Thumbs TV, HTG TV page that I just showed you guys, I can't scroll, I can't click anything, I can't actively browse. There's got to be a way to do it. I just don't have it set up right, I guess. But yeah, no worries. Like I said, that was just like a fun thing. urgentfury.com/chosen is one of the couple. There was trying to think of what the other ones were. But yeah, like all of this was, a guy by the name of Patrick. You guys have heard me talk about Patrick before for other things. He's a radio VJ, good friend of mine. Unfortunately, I don't get to talk to him or see him as much as I'd like to. But, Patrick and this other guy that went by the name of Bandit, they were the guys that would sit down and like write these crazy stories about like, all right, so this is going to be about a war and it's going to be taking place here on this continent. So we're going to need the map to be this continent. There's going to be 16 teams. So we need 16 times 3 or 4, and they'd break it all down to me. And then, I just make it, and be like, how's this look? And they'd be like, oh, that sucks. Fix this, and then I'd do it. But seriously, good times. Gray! What is up? What did Josh suggest? Bros and... Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a good replacement or not. And I only say that because of another term that has been loosely used for years in my neck of the woods. Okay, Connie, I'm going to try to say this in a non-gross or inappropriate way. I don't know if I can. Let's see here. If I say what if I try to use the example I'm going to use, you guys are going to think I'm going another route with it because it could be dirty in another way. Let me type it to Kirsten and see if she has any ideas. I hope I didn't just make her... I'm sorry, Kirsten, if that was too much. So you're caught up, right, Kirsten? Are you caught up? All right, I'm just trying to figure out. I think she's totally confused. She might have even had to step out. I don't know. I don't know. I think I don't know. uh, it's okay, Connie. I don't. Just I'll just say this: the word doze, definitely is a reference to something around here. It's actually short for something, not deer related. Fuck. Raised, I wish I had an easy way to message you. I don't have you on Skype. That needs to change. But seriously, moving on, I'll just say this. Still, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else, okay? You guys figure it out. If you figure it out, you do. If you don't, you don't. Okay, moving on. Hey, guys. Oh, you know what? Let me check something real quick. We got Patreon shoutouts coming up next. I just gotta make sure that this got updated. It did not. Okay, give me a hot second here. I just started thinking, you know what? I don't think I ever fixed that. Last thing I want to do is put the wrong names out. No. Yeah. All right. Hey, so every month we do a quick couple of minutes of shout outs to the people who support us directly through our Patreon account. It's just another way. It's like super chatting. Some people have complications with the way that the payment is processed on certain platforms. So some people want to super chat but can't because they have like Apple Pay or something that they use, and that's not or whatever, right? Like I'm not saying that's how, but there's complications sometimes. So sometimes people support us on Patreon because it's easier for them. Sometimes they do the super chats. Sometimes there's all sorts of ways. Anyways, Patreon, bam, we got some $5 and up supporters every month. We like to give some love and show textually these $5 supporters. Ooh, yeah, cuss, shout. Most of these people have been on here month to month. A couple names come and go, and it's all good. No harm. Like I get messages like, I'm so sorry I had, like, it's totally good. Like, real life first. I like each and every one of those names has gone way above and beyond to help out, and I greatly appreciate that. So don't ever feel bad if you can't you've never super chatted, you can't become a member. Don't feel bad, please. Like, watching our videos, being a part of the community, that's way more than I ever could ask for. So, for those of you who do have the ability and desire to do that, I greatly appreciate that too. But just know that there's no shame in not being able to or anything. Now, I'm just curious, Connie, did it ever sink in for you? Did it ever sink in? I see some people got it. I just don't want to. It's like, well, I'll just say it's an object that certainly makes certain people wildly uncomfortable, or it could be the opposite too. Like, I don't know. Raise his help. Did Raise get it figured out? Listen. You guys know what the suggested word was, right? Knowing that is an abbreviation, right? A shortened term, and I'll just say it's like the second half, right? The first half, dill. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say any more. I will not say both parts together. You guys figure it out. All right. Last but not least, we do have our $10 and up Patreon supporters too. This month, we actually, as I mentioned, I had a couple people message me and tell me, I'm so sorry, I'm not able to. Again, guys, I love you. You don't need to tell me you're sorry. I see it happening, and I understand. I don't take offense to it or anything, but I do greatly appreciate the names that are still on this list. So, real quick, want to give a shout out. Michael got it, but I'm glad that I'm glad that it got flagged, Michael. I appreciate your honesty and willingness to help, but we were trying to avoid the actual saying of the word. So, anyways, shout out to these guys in no particular order. Actually, they're in the order that they're showing to me on Patreon. So, first off, Dougie Fresh! Thank you so much, Dougie, for being a continuous supporter. It's always good to see your name there. Next up, we've got Xaria! I probably said your name wrong again, even though I tried to practice a couple of times. But thank you so much. Always good to shout your name out and see you on this list. Also, well, I'll get to that again, Dark. I'll do one more hint before we go. That's all I can do. Next up, April White. April, it's been a while since I heard from you. I think I'm going to reach out to you. I responded. I'm not even sure you got it. I hope you did, because I'm going to feel like a jerk if you didn't. I know I sent it, so I'll reach out and see what's up. This month, if you watched, you probably heard, it's been crazy. I've been going hard, and you know what? It's paying off. It's paying off. So, last but not least, we got Bonnie Miller. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for your continued support. I've actually been stalking you a little bit. Not really stalking, but like as I scroll and I see your name, I always stop and read. You've got a pretty good meme source. I don't know where you get them from, but I appreciate the memes that you're dropping. You know, and I also appreciate too that they're, you know, they're fun, right? I'll say that. I have more to say, but to keep it clean and safe, I'll just say they're fun. I like it. So big shout out to those guys. Thank you so much, guys, for your continued support on Patreon. It's always Chach, no! I'm gonna have to change your name, bro. Chach, no! So anyways, hey, we just hit the 1 hour, actually almost 1 hour and 2 minute mark. So getting pretty close to the end. And what's up out there? You guys got any last minute questions? Or see, Connie, I was like, I mean, I don't want to say like I was trying to save you from it, but like I was kind of trying to save you from it. Like, but I was also trying to like, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, so when I saw that immediately, that's why I laughed, because bros and does probably not a good one. Like, I can't wait to tell my wife that, because she'll probably go, oh no, it's this. She'll probably have the term that I was looking for, and if not, then we'll still laugh about it. It's pretty funny. But let's see here. I'm laughing good too. I was thinking, yeah, that was my first thought too. But then also the back of my old man Dirty Brian brain popped up and was like, oh, probably better not use that. You know, I told you guys the other day. Was it yesterday? Maybe the day before. We were talking about streaming, and I was saying, you guys have no idea how many times I have said something, and like, I had to like stop recording and go back and edit over it because of the possibility of it being twisted up or thought of in a weird way. Like, for example, stud whore. That was something that I said as a innocent term. I actually had a staff member, I won't go into details, he tried to stage a coup and tried to take over the channel. We were having a meeting. There was 8 of us in the meeting. He, out of nowhere, attacked me for using the term stud whore. And, you know, I guess I understood his reasoning, but he was 100% under the impression that it was, like, really nasty. And, you know, obviously whore is a term that's been around for a long time. Probably maybe not the most family-friendly term, so I acknowledge that. But I also, like, the way he was acting like I just stabbed his firstborn child, and I felt bad about it because I obviously had hit a nerve with this guy, and I wondered how many other people. And then about a month later, I got a comment. So I always wondered, was the comment somebody he knew that he kind of directed my way? But he legit tried to during this meeting. He tried to be like, "Listen, guys, this guy's taking this channel the wrong way, and we need to." And I was like, "What? You're trying to take my channel from me? Like what? Like, dude, what?" It was actually really crazy. So ever since that meeting, I've actually been really careful about the word choice. And stud whore, I think I thought that was funny. Like somebody who just couldn't get enough, right? Couldn't get enough studs. I'm just stud whoring it up, right? I didn't really see it as being harmful, but knowing how the world works and how people think, I see that now. And if you've noticed, I don't really say that anymore. So but there's a lot of times where I'll say like, I used this one as an example the other day, or something similar to it. Like, let's say you had to go from upstairs to downstairs, right? Like in a building from floor 2 to floor 1, and you had to go down there to save the citizen in peril who was a boy, right? So I'll be like, we have to go. It's something like, we got to go save that boy, so let's go down on it. So, or something. I'm like, whoa, can't say that, So there's a lot of times that I have to kind of police my own stuff just to kind of prevent the possibilities. And so bros and does, obviously, red flag, nope. So, but you know what I mean. Yeah, lots of, yeah, and that's the thing. It is crazy. Yeah, the boingers, yeah, boing and all that. Like there are certain things that, I mean, I have definitely gotten people sort of like going after me. Like I said crap one time, so like, oh, you're not supposed to cuss. Crap is a cuss word? I guess I never saw it as one. So, everybody's got their own rules and different statements and sayings, and I've got my Brianisms. And I mean, 9 times out of 10, I mean no harm. None at all. And there was no innuendo, implicate. When there's a giggity thrown in afterwards, yeah, that was that 1 time out of 10 that I did intend it. And so I try to have fun. I try to ride the line, right? I try to ride that fine line of like, happiness and fun, but also, sprinkle in a little zest, right? That's how I look at it. So, let's see here. Now that I know, I tell you. Let's see here. I can't take. Yeah, well, and ultimately, the guy was let go on the spot, and yeah, funny. Ray's just made a comment that was blocked off. It says, "Dirty old man." Haha, just kidding. When I was younger, when my wife and I swear this may have even been the first time she and I met. I was sitting with like 2 or 3 of my boys. We were having some beers, and it was pretty funny because I don't remember what was said, but something got said, and boys will be boys, right? And I remember looking at my wife. I just had met her, maybe hung out once or twice before. I can't remember if it was the first time or not. And she looks at me and she's just kind of like looking at me bright-eyed, like, "What are you?" And I just remember saying something like, I think the quote was, "Someday I'll be a dirty old man, but right now I'm just dirty." Like, and I wasn't trying to be like creepy or anything, but like, I was just saying, like, it's always like, it's funny how kind of acceptable for a dirty old man, right? Like, elderly men who make rude and crude comments tend to be kind of ignored or disregarded more than like somebody like me, right? Not saying that it's okay or whatever, but I was just making a statement. Like, at some point, I will be one of those old men. Probably, oh, he's just an old dirty old man. But I was like, nah, I'm still young. So, anyways, and you know what's crazy? This is what's crazy. She said yes, and we've been together. We were talking about it today. We've been together for almost 19. Well, it'd be 18 and a half years. That's a long time, long freaking time. We got married back in 2008. So I mean, we've been married for 12 years. And so it's just crazy, right? Like, this has been a long journey, but I will be a dirty old man too, Chacha says. Yeah, I mean, there's a fine line, right? I mean, there's no I mean, I don't want to say like abuse or anything like that. Like I'm not like my dad, for example. Like my dad's humor. Like I don't know if he's just got really bad jokes or if he's like racist. Like I still haven't figured that out in all these years. Like this is crazy. Um, nice, 40 and married 20. Yeah. So yeah, Reese is 16 in January. So, and, we were together for, a year and a half before she got pregnant. Obviously, pregnancy's 9 months. So, I mean, yeah, we're like at that 18 and a half years or whatever. And, this all came about because we were watching that show that I told you I started watching, A Man with a Plan with Matt LeBlanc, Joey from Friends. It's got a bunch of other people in it too. But in this episode that we watched last night, actually we finished it today with lunch. It was all about, it's apparently Rev O'Clock. You guys probably can't hear it, but he's out there revving up his beast. But it's all about how when he got married, the guy he chose to be, the minister or whatever to get them married, he didn't have his license. His license wasn't good. He was like a gambler or something and had been caught gambling and lost it. So in the story, they'd been married for like 17, 18, 20 years, whatever it was, but it wasn't legit. And so rather than tell his wife that and then fess up that instead of going with the person that she wanted, he went with a cheaper one, and then the cheaper one turned out to not be legit, he convinced her that, you know what, we should renew our vows. And that if we got a new guy that was legit, then they'd be married and she'd never know. Like, totally good idea. But we were just talking about the longevity and then I made the comment, what if Scott wasn't? Because we actually used a friend of ours. He was actually one of my bosses at the time when I was working at Allied Video doing video production and learning to edit and doing commercials and all sorts of other fun stuff with video. He was one of the 3 owners that owned the business. And so when he found out that I was getting married, he was like, hey, if you need somebody. And I was like, dude, and this might upset some of you guys, but as somebody who is not really religious, I didn't have like a church or anywhere or anybody that should have taken that role or whatever, right? So I had no clue. So when Scott, somebody I loved, respected, and was like super cool, was like, hey, I'll do it. And I think he did it for free too. I was all in on that. So, one of our friends married us, which is super cool. And so I made the comment today, what if Scott's online certificate wasn't really valid? What if we haven't been married? And she was like, oh my God, that'd be crazy. And then she's like, our taxes would be a mess. Could you imagine? We've been filing joint for however many years. And if we're not really but we are. There's no signs of any. And for the record, not to spoil the episode, wifey found out and he got in big trouble. But anyways, yeah, so one last thing that I got for you guys, and then if you guys got any questions or whatever, I'm here to answer them. But beyond that, I pretty much got through my list and wrapped it up. So I'm really excited about this. I found out that not everybody in my friend circle was. Still don't know why. I won't get into that. But some of you know that for the last couple of months, I've been having some connectivity issues with my headphones. So normally I have my big A50 Astro headphones on, the wireless guys that I love. I've had them for 4 to 5 years. And in the last month or two, it seems to be kind of suffering from connection issues. So I'll be playing and just out of nowhere, the sound will go off. And it's not just game sound, it's like mic sound too. So if I'm talking and it goes out, you've seen me on stream, I'll stop mid-sentence and then wait and then continue once my mic kicks back on. And, there's plenty of times too where in the last week, my mic was kicking off, but not for all, but for some, it was kicking off and I wasn't even hearing it. So I was continuing to talk and didn't even know they couldn't hear me. So I decided to start tweeting to Astro, the company who makes the headphones, and asked them, hey, are you guys going to be releasing a new version of your A50 headset? Because I want to buy the newest one. I don't want to buy the last year's model or whatever. They didn't respond. And then J-Shock Blast, some of you guys probably know who he is. He saw the tweet and commented something about like, No. He actually tweeted about Astros. He got some other headphones, the ones that a couple of my friends had recommended, and I opted not to get them just because I was comfortable with my Astros. They work good for 4 to 5 years, so I figured that's a pretty good run for a headphone. And the comment was he put on these new headphones, the recommended ones that I didn't get, and he said after 12 or 15 minutes, his head started to hurt. And so I tweeted out to him. I said, hey, do you have any idea if their new ones are coming out? He said, no. He goes, unfortunately, I bought the last generation right before the new generation came out. And he said, and I was like, oh, man, that happened to me, too. That's exactly. I bought mine in like 30 days, 60 days later. The new ones came out, and I was pissed. And so now I have the 2nd gens. They're on the 4th gen. So I was asking if the 5th gen is coming out. And he's like, you know what? I haven't heard anything. He's like, but I feel you, though. I'm not trying to get burned again, and I am ready for a new headset, too. Hence why he bought the new SteelSeries one. And so anyways, I tweeted out to them again. A couple people have retweeted, and Astro has not responded in any way. I even sent out another tweet like, hey, anybody out there? Hoping to get a response, and nobody's responded. So I don't know if they're just laying low, trying to be quiet and cool so that, that they don't want to announce or spoil or if they really just don't have plans for one. So I went today, and we were running a bunch of errands, and we were right by Best Buy. And as we were walking out of Target across the street from Best Buy, I was like, hey, I want to go to Best Buy. And she was like, why? And I was like, I'm going to buy that headset. She goes, you know what? It's time. Looked right at her like, what the hell? What do you mean it's time? She goes, I've been hearing you bitch about that headset for at least 2 months now. And I was like, oh, you've been hearing that, have you? She's like, yeah, tired of you yelling at the stupid headset. I was like, all right, fair enough. So I went in, bought the new headset, and came out. And like I said, I won't fully go into details, but I shared it with a couple people, like, hey, guess what? I got this. And one of them asked me, hey, you want to play this game? And I was like, sounds fun. I said, but I got a handful of things to do, and the game break's coming up soon, and I just might not have time till after. And I said, oh, and this happened. And I got a bunch of comments like, why'd you do that? Why'd you buy the same headset? You're just gonna have the same. It was like, I think the person was just trying to, give advice that would be helpful, like, but it didn't come across that way. And really, then this comment was made. Well, when it goes bad, I'll be there to tell you I told you so. I was like, what? Anyways, we're still friends. It didn't hurt my feelings or anything. I did kind of call him out and ask, the phrase "you do you" was used, and I was like, I am doing me. I'm just not sure why you have such a big problem with it. So I don't have any beef. I have reached out and talked to them since then too, and I think everything is fine. But it was an interesting thing. But I'm super excited. I got a new freaking headset, and hopefully it won't cut out, and it feels so lovely. Like my old headset, it fits nice, and it's very light and nice, but it's not like the cutting out is bad, and that's all there is really to it. Other than that, the headset's wonderful. Every once in a while, I get told that I sound like a robot. You guys don't ever hear that, but through the game, there seems to be certain headsets that just don't like the Astro. I don't know if it's because the optical cable drives it. I really don't have any clue. But, sometimes people say, dude, you're roboting out again. I can't help it. So I'm hoping that I won't be a robot anymore. Because I'm sure they're getting tired of hearing me say, I am a robot. Every time they say, that's what I say to them. And I'm sure they're like, dude, shut up. You don't sound like a robot when you make the voice, nor do you sound like a robot while the robot's making the voice. So just shut up. But anyways, so hopefully, let's see here. You need to see if you start renting space. Hey, that's true. That's true. I have been taking a lot of stuff back, though. Honestly, I've been buying a lot of stuff and taking it back. I got that capture card, took it back. The Astro A20s that I had that I was super stoked about, took them back. There was something else I just took back recently, too. I can't remember what it was. And you know, I've got 90 days to, you know, if this headset is doing, like, if I end up having similar issues where it's cutting out or whatever, I got 90 days. And I also have a nice friend to be there to laugh and point at me and tell me that he told me so. So there's that to look forward to as well. Yeah. I legit at one point said something like, I'm so lucky to have a friend like you looking out for me or something like that. Like I wasn't trying to be an ass, but at the same time I felt like, hey man, I just bought a headset. Just be happy for me. You don't have to have, there's no opinion needed, no persuasion. Like there's no right or wrong answer or anything. Like I just got a new headset. Like that's it. No, I did. So the video card, I still have the graphic, the capture card I took back because I was not able to utilize it. I did not have the... Get out of here! Nobody asked you! Get out of here! Turtle Beach. Crappy Turtle Beach is showing up in here. No, I wasn't able. I did not have a PCIe slot to put it in. So, anyways. Thank you, Kirsten. Appreciate that. Robert, what is up, dude? You're just showing up. We're just wrapping it all up. Yeah. You know, I guess if I never wanted to hear footsteps in any game, Turtle Beach would be the headset to go with. And then I could join Team Crappy Headset. And I don't really have any beef with Turtle Beach, Connie. I Robert and I always have fun taking shots at each other with, you know, PC gaming is the devil or whatever, right? Like there's no ill intent here. See. Yep, I am wrapping it up, G-Box. Yeah, the you know, the game breaks are generally an hour long. We're actually an hour and 20. So it's not the Turtle Beach, it's the game. It's weird that both Tyler and I have different versions of Astros. He's got the A40s, I've got the A50s, and even with mine cutting in and out, I still heard footsteps 99 times out of 100. All right, maybe 98 out of 100. And you're right though, sometimes it is the games. I think that honestly, and I don't know this, I don't know this about yours, Robert, but honestly, I do think that headsets, regardless of brand, but headsets that utilize the optical cable port, I think had a little higher definition of quality. I don't have any data to prove that. I'm not sitting here trying to convince you, but there is a consistency with headsets that have optical cables being more expensive than ones that don't. And they generally have higher features, better features. You know, mixing is a little easier with an optical cable. I know that some of the newer USB driven stuffs are actually capable of some mixing. But like, you know, definitely see here, non-online shooters, I hear footsteps. Well, and hey, does your headset have an optical cable? Or is it just USB driven? And again, I'm not taking a shot at your headset, but I do find that optical cable has been kind of a godsend for the clarity of the sound. So you do have both? Okay. And you know what? I just found out too, as I was doing all my research for my new A50s, I found out that the PS5 will not have an optical port. Rest in peace. Not sure why they went that route, but then I started freaking out. I was like, well, what the crap? How are my headsets going to work? They're already saying they're compatible day one. So how are they going to work? You want to know how they're going to work? I have to buy a stupid adapter. Really, it's like $15, $20. But it will, I guess it somehow simulates the optical side of things. I don't know. But it didn't stop me from... And at this point right now, I don't even have a PS5 reserved. I don't know that I'll be getting one right away. There's a big part of me that would love to have one at launch so I could, but at the same time, like honestly, um, I don't see it having a large impact for unboxings or anything like that on the channel. In fact, I almost bought the Lego Mario starter kit today. I finally saw one in person. First time I've seen the starter kit in person ever. I've been able to order it in some places, but I've opted not to. But I actually had one in my hand today, and then I was like, you know what? It's $60. I haven't even done an unboxing video in over a year. I have no idea if anybody would even watch it. Like, that's one of those things too where cost effectiveness, like if I spend $60 on a set and I get 500 views, that doesn't even reach the first 1,000 view goal to get the CPM, which is usually like 350. So I started doing some like internal math in my head, and I started thinking like, you realize how many views I need to get? I mean, it needs to get like 20 to 40,000 views before it's even close to being breaking even, right? So, you know, that's the thing that channel creators have to kind of deal with sometimes too. And some people are really lucky. I mean, you know, J-Shock Blast, I use him as an example for another conversation. He gets a lot of stuff given to him from Warner Brothers, and he lives and in an area that I guess is either close enough to games or he's big enough that they're flying him places. He's got to go to multiple studios. I've had the option a couple of times, but not on the level like some of these creators get. And so sometimes it helps to be the bigger channel, and sometimes it's just fine being schmo. Let's see here. That was the main selling point for the optical cables. What was the headset or the mixing? The mixing probably. Let's see here. Maybe because the 3D here, it does just has sound. V versus HDMI and USB, they have all signals, so one may not be as clear. Yeah, and I know that the optical also, for what it's worth, you know, optical speeds are, I mean, I don't know if 100 times is accurate, but I mean, it's a lot faster than standard, like even Ethernet, Cat 5, Cat 7 cables. You know, again, I don't know the actual ratio, but you know, optical fiber optics, I mean, that's where it's all at, right? I mean, optical is basically a downsized version of fiber optics. So anyways, let's see. PS5 has some 3D hearing stuff. Maybe. Let's see here. Yeah, 3D, more like THX, like Dolby Digital surround type stuff. Definitely. And you know, haha, my headset's done charging. I'm pretty excited about that, actually. I don't know if you could tell or not, but definitely. So I am actually going to start dipping out here. You know, although Darkseid, you know, I don't disagree with you, and I've always felt the same, and I would classify it probably as the same. Have you ever noticed though, like if you go to, if you ever go to like, I'm having a brain fart as far as the names of the services, Sirius, or what's the other one? You know, the paid programming radio. They actually advertised for many years. I don't know if they still do, but they did for a long time, labeling it HD radio. I don't know. That's true though. It's really true. So I don't know. I don't know if any of us are totally right or totally wrong, but I would agree with you. HD has always been. Well, you're saying HD sound, 3D, 4D is picture. Yes. See, and that's what I always wonder. HD is not, to me, a sound. But I think, technically, I think you're right. And I think that, you know, but, so I don't know. Like, how are you going to get an HD quality signal? Like, is it the bit rate of the, you know? I mean, is it... And radio, it's all digitally coming through an antenna. So, you know, I would imagine some, and maybe not. Maybe it doesn't work this way at all. But with like internet traffic and stuff, like it can definitely change. Like especially like signals with satellite based, right? you know, if you don't get a strong enough signal, you don't get it. Or like with YouTube, here's another good example. If you've got less than stellar internet, you're not going to be able to necessarily get the highest quality of video available, right? And if you did try it with buffer, stop, buffers. So like I've always wondered about that HD audio classification and how it really, you know, what it really breaks down to, right? Like it's kind of crazy. I would agree. Listen, old man Brian Brain is right now literally admitting how confusing and odd these labelings can be and how inconsistent they could be, right? Because they're HD TVs, but you're gonna have HD radio too, and out there an antenna just like the one that was regular radio. Oh no, my computer. Oh no, Malachi's got a battery's running out. Guess what? I'll go ahead and end it right now. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. We will be back tomorrow with, you guessed it, Lego Harry Potter years 1 through 4. Psych, it's just year 3 tomorrow, but it is the game 1 through 4. So we'll be busting through the story for year 3, and then we'll be shutting her down. So hopefully everything will go as planned, and it'll be a couple-hour stream just like last week. And hopefully everything will be good. Hopefully I'll have no tooth pain or any of that stuff. I've been good for almost a week now, so I don't think it will be, but I'm just saying, putting it all out there. Good vibes for me and everybody else around me. Hey, Chacho, Connie, Malachi, Raised, everybody out there, Nathan, Loki, Darkseid, I'm sure I'm forgetting some of you guys. Kirsten, I know she can't hear me, but shout out to Kirsten. Happy birthday, Mom. Josh, peace out, everybody. Much love. I can't wait till tomorrow when we rejoin each other for another stream. Hey, if you have not already, please head on over to happythumbsgaming.com. We also have social media available for your viewing pleasure. And hey, don't forget to drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think about this, Spyro, and future things. And as always, until next time,